Deep in the heart of a vast, dark forest, where the tall trees touched the sky and the thick shadows hid many secrets, lived a mighty lion. He was known as the undisputed king of the jungle. Every animal, from the tiny ants to the giant elephants, trembled at the very sound of his roar. His physical strength was unmatched, and his fierce presence alone was enough to keep the whole forest in line. Nobody dared to challenge him. But even the strongest kings have their bad days. One evening, after a fierce and brutal fight with a wild buffalo, the lion was badly injured. A deep, bleeding wound on his left hind leg made it almost impossible for him to walk properly. For the first time in his life, the mighty lion felt incredibly weak and completely helpless. He slowly dragged his heavy body to a quiet, dark cave at the edge of the forest to hide his pain from the world. Days passed, and the lion just lay there in the cold silence of the dark cave. No other animal dared to come close to check on his condition. They all stayed far away, fearing that the lion's hidden anger might burst out at any moment. The lion felt a deep, heavy sadness growing inside his chest. He was the king of the entire jungle, yet he was completely alone in his darkest and most painful time. He just wanted someone to talk to. He desperately wanted someone to look at his wound and tell him that he would be okay soon. One afternoon, as the sun hid behind the gray clouds, a clever red fox walked slowly toward the dark cave. The fox stopped right at the entrance and peeked inside with a face full of fake concern. "Oh, my great king," the fox said softly, her voice dripping with sweet honey. "I heard about your terrible fight. It truly breaks my heart to see the strongest animal in this forest lying here like this." The lion, who was starving for a little bit of kindness, looked at the fox with tired, lonely eyes. At first, he did not want to speak, but the fox's warm and comforting words slowly melted his defensive guard. "It hurts so much," the lion finally whispered in a weak voice. "I can barely move my left leg." The fox stepped a little closer, pretending to wipe a tear from her eye. "You have protected all of us all your life. It is so unfair that you have to suffer all alone in this dark place." The lion felt a warm wave of relief wash over him. He thought he had finally found a true friend in this cold, unforgiving forest. Blinded by the deep comfort of having someone listen to his problems, the lion started to share much more than he should have. "The buffalo's sharp horn hit me right here, just below my back knee," the lion explained, pointing a claw to the exact spot. "If anyone presses this exact spot with force, I lose all my strength. My legs give out, and I cannot even stand up to defend myself." The fox nodded slowly, hiding a very dark, sharp smile behind her deeply concerned eyes. "Rest now, my great king. I will keep your painful secret safe," she whispered gently, and quietly walked out of the cave. But the clever fox had absolutely no intention of keeping anything safe. As soon as she left the cave, she ran straight to the hidden pack of wild hyenas. "Listen to me very carefully," the fox told them with a wide, evil grin. "The great lion has a deadly weak spot. If you attack him exactly below his left back knee, he will fall to the ground instantly." That very night, under the heavy cover of total darkness, the fox led the hungry hyenas straight to the quiet cave. The lion was fast asleep, completely unaware of the terrible danger approaching him. The hyenas did not hesitate for a single second. They launched a sudden, vicious attack, directly targeting the exact weak spot the lion had proudly shown off to the fox. The lion woke up in pure shock, roaring loudly to defend himself. He tried with all his might to stand up and fight back, but the exact moment the hyenas struck his left leg, his entire body gave out. He collapsed heavily onto the cold, hard floor of the cave. He looked around with wide, terrified eyes, and the very last thing he saw before everything went dark, was the red fox standing at the entrance of the cave, watching him with a cold, heartless smile. The mighty king of the jungle was defeated, not by a stronger animal, but by his own careless words. He thought he was finding a sympathetic friend, but he was actually handing his worst enemies the exact weapon they needed to destroy him completely. Imagine the dark cave slowly fading away, shifting into the bright, glowing screens of our modern world. This tragic story of the wounded lion is not just an old fable from a children's book. It is happening every single day in our real human lives. Look closely at how we live today. We carry a tiny device in our pockets, and too often, we use it to strip away all our emotional armor. When we feel sad, angry, weak, stressed, or heartbroken, what is the very first thing we do? We go online. We open our social media apps, and we pour our hearts out to thousands of strangers. We post long, emotional paragraphs about our broken relationships, our painful failures at work, our deep financial struggles, and our darkest personal insecurities. We complain about how unfair life is. We openly share our weakest, most vulnerable moments, foolishly thinking that people on the internet truly understand our pain. We are desperately looking for cheap sympathy and attention, acting exactly like the lonely lion in the dark cave. But stop for a moment and think deeply. Who is really reading those public posts? In the real world, not everyone who smiles at you, or leaves a friendly heart emoji on your post is your true friend. Many people in your circle are just like that clever and manipulative fox. When you proudly display your weaknesses to the world, you are not healing your pain. You are simply giving away your exact weak spot. You are freely telling the world exactly where it hurts the most. And believe me, there are cold people out there who will quietly take note of your weak spots. They will silently wait for the right moment, and when you least expect it, they will use your own words, your own public confessions, directly against you. They will use your weaknesses to destroy your reputation, to steal your position at work, or simply to bring you down for their own amusement. In a highly competitive world, showing your vulnerability to the wrong crowd is not honesty. It is pure self-destruction. You do not need the whole world to validate your pain. Keep your personal struggles strictly private. Protect your weak spots at all costs. Heal in silence, work on yourself in the shadows, and only share your strength when you have fully recovered. Because the people who truly care about you will stay by your side even when you say absolutely nothing at all. If this story opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe to the channel for more life-changing motivational stories, and comment down below, silence is your strongest armor.